Well, hello guys, welcome back. I had an amazing experience last night. Loki's like, we're doing this. And he had me talk for hours, and I mean hours, until I fell asleep to God. Now, let me qualify that. I was raised Roman Catholic, and you're taught to pray to God. And God is always this old white guy with a beard, and sometimes you see his face, and sometimes you don't. And the funny thing was, the God that I prayed to, he seemed kind of sad. He seemed like he kind of kept in the shadows, because he was like, I love children. You're not bad. Why would they tell children they're bad? And he was like, every time I go to Sunday school, God would undo everything. I mean, I knew other gods at the time as well, like Bastet and everyone were like, hey. And like I told you, my previous experience, and this is not to hurt your feelings if you're Christian, any god can walk into any temple. If they feel they're needed, there they are. And this god just seemed sad. He wore this gray robe, and had the beard and that, but I think it was because, okay, this is what you want to see, but this isn't what I really look like. And he actually had a funny sense of humor. Then the priest would be saying bad stuff. He would be standing behind the priest, because, you know, even as a little kid, I thought everybody could do this, like, see in your mind's eye, see stuff. He'd be standing behind the priest like, eh. I would be trying not to laugh, and the priest would sometimes go, did you see God? Because we did have one really cool priest. And I said, yeah. And he says, well, whatever God tells you, you listen to God. And I just, like, literally remember that right now. But we did have one cool priest. I mean, he was like the rebel priest. We would be in CCD, and all those teachers were lay teachers, and they had to stick up their six. You would hear this booming voice come on. This is God speaking. So he was actually really cool, and he loved us kids, and not in a weird way. He was actually what a priest should be. He loved people. He loved doing what he was. You know, being a priest, he loved doing his thing. He didn't resent being alone or whatever. Anyhow, so for hours and hours and hours, just talked to God last night. And I was like, you know, I feel weird as a pagan calling any god God. It feels like calling a dog dog. Maybe you do it because you're like, oh, hey, doggy, because you don't know their name. But like within a heartbeat, you're asking their name, right? Even the dog, you'll ask them their name if you see a stray dog. And what's your name? You gonna tell me? Yeah! So it felt weird, but it felt good too, because at Catholic Church at the time I was going, they taught some really terrible things, and it would be considered child abuse if you did it to children in any other context. Like showing them images of like burnt martyrs and that, and this is what God expects you to do. And the God I knew was like, no, I don't want martyrs. Why would I want you to hurt yourself? Run away from bad people. So that's why I failed as a Catholic, because God didn't like any of this nonsense they were teaching. It was really sad sometimes. Because you know, too, I grew up in an abusive household, and his only solution he had was that, you know, I could go talk to him and, you know, kind of try to recover. And he kept trying to undo all the brainwashing they did. But anyhow, it was really super healing, because it was kind of like going in a full loop. And I still don't know who God is. I have no idea. I don't know if it's Jehovah, Yahweh, whatever. It was whoever answered when I was taught to pray to God. Some days I think it was Loki. Some days I think it was Hermes. Some days I think the gods just kind of like cycled into whoever you needed. So today the rest of the statues arrived, and the floral arrangement arrived. When you're worshipped by a gay person, you're getting lots of flowers. Deal with it. So it's just amazing, because it cascades over, and it brings the altar forward, and it has this living, vital energy. And I have, you know, Dionysus and Apollo came from the same company, but Hermes came from another company. I did not realize that when I ordered a statue, and there was some spammer troll that was like, hey, Hermes will strike you down for the statue. He doesn't care. He thinks it looks like, what do they call them? What do they call those horns they use at the Olympics? He thinks it looks like one of those, so he's utterly delighted. It's actually a herald's horn, and he's holding the panpipes in the other hand, because he's also considered a god of music like his brothers. You, like, expect them to drop a mixtape sometime? Anyhow, they're all up above in their glory, looking like beautiful Greek gods, and down below, now it's kind of like a sacred, quiet grotto kind of foresty vibe. I have the Norse gods, which it works out perfectly. They don't have any contentions with each other. Gods kind of look at people, and Loki said we need to stop playing Pokemon Go with our gods because they have better things to do than fight with each other. So yeah, I'm very chuffed, and I'm hearing all this activity in the house. My taxes finally are paid, thank the gods. And by some miracle, I have a good bit left, so I'm going to get them something to celebrate with. Probably DQ, because it's harder than Arizona in a muggy season. I have to watch what I say. I don't want to offend Lord Hades. But, yeah, it just, they look awesome. I know this is a very unprofessional way to do it, but let's see if I can show them to you. Is it okay? If my tremors will stop acting up. Okay, you can't see them from here, but kind of. And then down below, sorry, the boom of the mic is in the way. And now my camera's all out of focus. But yeah, it was really healing. It was something I needed done, and Loki's like, you are doing this because you're doing it, because I said so, because I'm your god. Deal with it, girl. And I've got a shirt on today that I bought like at least a couple decades ago. I still fit into this, and Loki's like, what have I freaking told you? You've been the same size and shape all your life, and now that you're getting, a little older, past your 40s, your body's naturally changing, and you're listening to this about jazz about how women should all look like statues all their life, and I'm gonna go around hit people because I'm mad. I'm like, oh, my God loves me. And to cap it off, I had a dream this morning. I kept having these little microbursts of dreams, like these gods and goddesses, I think, trying to say, yeah, we're with you. One was a goddess, and I think she either had like a lion or a boar or something with her. And one was, I was in an orange tent, and I was both outside and inside the tent at the same exact time. And we were in the woods. I think it was the fall, because there are all these leaves all over the place, and yet the trees are green simultaneously, because you know how dreams work. So we're both in the fall and in like spring or summer, and there's leaves on the ground, only there aren't. And I'm in a tent, this circular dome tent that's lit up from inside, and it's this beautiful orange color. And I'm sleeping in this tent, and a crow sticks his head in. And he's looking at me, and he's like, not talking, but he's like, oh, you're up. Here, he's waiting for you. And I don't know now if he was trying to hand me a compass or he was trying to hand me a watch. But it was certainly something connected with this god, and I got a kind of like vision that there was like this fire pit, and this god was waiting by it. And I got up and I tried to look up all these associations. I'm like, tent, trees, and you're not gonna find anything like that. I don't really know, but it felt really comforting. It was like, you're going on vacation, so it was like this god wanted to travel with me, so maybe Hermes, maybe Loki, maybe someone else, but their energy felt uplifting. It didn't feel like this poor sad god that I knew when I was going to church. It felt uplifting and happy and positive. So I just figured I'd talk to you guys about all that, and I know that wasn't a very professional filming of the altar, but I've been like run down lately, so yeah, but I'm feeling better. So if you guys like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.